What did you think about the craziness that went down yesterday? All three DFW sports teams getting that L. The Rangers get the sweep, get swept, I should say. The Mavericks lose a game they should not have lost, and then the Stars, unfortunately, again, cannot find a way to win in a shootout.
What am I supposed to do with this Mavericks team? How do we keep beating the better teams?
I told you last week.
Corey did, and he was like, what if we only beat the good teams and lose to the crappy teams?
We beat Milwaukee without the Greek Freak, so that doesn't really make them that good of a team. If they don't have the Greek Freak, they're probably an under 500 team.
Right. Okay.
So we did beat them.
All right. And then we've lost to Houston and San Antonio. Mike, like, we're going to end up beating Philadelphia, and we're going to look back and say, what do we actually know? What do we really know about the Mavericks? They're
a pretty good team that can lose to anybody in the NBA, but they're not a great team. Great teams don't do that.
Anybody, right? Like, they can beat any team in the NBA, though.
Not in a 7-game series.
Okay, yeah. Because of what? Because of
they're not good enough yet.
31
they're not
points.
old enough. They're not experienced enough. They're not talented enough. Guys. But they're good. They're on the rise. The thing that it scares the crap out of me is they think Jalen Brunson's a Hall of Famer. They think THJ's Michael Jordan Jr. So they think Dwight Powell's good at basketball.
How do you really feel?
I like this team. We have the next LeBron James of the NBA.
Yep.
He's going to go down as one of the 5 to 15 greatest players in the history of the NBA. Ooh. I'm just scared that because Mark Cuban loves his role players so much that we're also going to have LeBron James leaving Cleveland, except this time he's going to leave Dallas.
Oh, man, that's the nightmare. That's the nightmare of all nightmares. You don't think they would be willing to wheel and deal some of these guys? You think they're just going to stand pat?
Yeah. We have $30 million of cap space, but if you want Tim Hardaway Jr. back, and let's say you want Josh Richardson back, your salary cap money's gone. So when we look at it, go, $30 million to add to this team. Well, I mean, they really like Tim Hardaway Jr. I expect them to give him $20 million a year. That takes you down to about $10 million. And if Josh Richardson opts out of his contract, they'll probably give him $10 to $15 million, and then free agency's over. Bring back the same team.
I want to point something out real quick. This morning I woke up and the push start key for my car, I have to change the battery. I open it up, pieces went flying everywhere. It blew up. Went to tie my shoes to go for a run this morning, shoestring broke. And now here's Mike crapping all over the Mavericks, and it's just, this is the Monday. This is the epitome of a freaking Monday, all right? Right now, that's how I feel, Mike. I need some good energy here. Help me out a little bit.
Well, we're in a city that has a bunch of horse-ass sports teams right now.
I don't think that's the answer he was hoping for.
He's going one out there. Kelly Clarkson style crapping on our Mavericks right now, dude.
Yep, just find a trash.
They're on the rise. We're just going to have to go through all the growing pains that most good teams go through. But will we be able? Kevin has said this.
You're going to have to go through them anyway. Like, why? We're not, impervious to growing pains. We're going to have to go through those. We're in the middle of them right now.
I think Kevin makes a great point about, for a decade now, the leadership of the Mavs has been poor, but we pretend like it's awesome.
Well, look, Cuban, I think, does a lot of the things that Jerry's accused of doing.
Yes,
but Jerry doesn't really do them, and Cuban does. But they wanted to lengthen the Dirk window, just like the Rangers wanted to lengthen the last window, and it killed both franchises. It really did.
And I definitely could see that. It all goes back to, and I'm not just calling out Fish, because a lot of people think this, but Fish was on during over the weekend. This was several months ago, and he goes, look, Cuban is one of the best owners in the league. Donnie is one of the best GMs in the league. Carlisle is one of the best coaches in the league. Nonsense. You can't have 3 of the key components of front offices and coaching be the best in the league and have won 0 playoff series in a decade. I'm not saying we got to just keep winning championships. We haven't won a playoff series in a decade, and we got the three of the best. That's preposterous.